Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me here today where we are going to talk about my third book for September. It is my only adult fiction book. And with spooky season coming upon us, this book and the next one that I'll be reading are perfect for easing into the spooky season. Today's book, The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter, by Theodora Goss. Mary Jekyll's parents have died and she is penniless and practically alone in their home. A mystery surrounds her father and his associate Edward Hyde, a murderer who may be nearer than she thought. Mary is determined to find a way out of poverty by discovering where Hyde is and collecting the reward money. But her search leads not to Hyde himself, but to his daughter, Diana. Undeterred, Mary enlists the help of Sherlock Holmes and his associate, Dr. Watson. Their search leads to the discovery of more women who were created through terrifying experiments. They soon join forces and discover a secret society of power-crazed scientists. This is the first book in the extraordinary adventures of the Athena Club series. Mary is not your typical 19th century woman. She doesn't wait for things to happen. She goes out, she looks for solutions, and when she meets other women in similar circumstances, they pull together and join forces. Even Sherlock Holmes detects their independence and considers them equals. The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter is written from the viewpoint of the 5 women characters, and this is accomplished in an unusual way. One of the characters, Catherine, is writing the story, and the other 4 characters are telling their part of the story to her. I really like this book. In the low-rated reviews that I saw, the common observation was that the interruptions by the various characters interfered with some of the reader's enjoyment of and pulled them out of the narrative. I adjusted to it kind of by just thinking of it as a conversation. So I'm listening to the characters tell their story, and it kind of just felt like we were all in the living room together with a nice cup of tea. It has a relaxed pace, and we get to understand the characters and their motivations. I'll definitely be continuing this series. What can you read for a similar experience? This might seem to come out of someplace else, but like our main book, the book I'm going to talk about next is peopled with characters from classic literature. This time, it's an author instead of a character from a book, and it is the Jane Austen mystery series by Stephanie Barron. Jane's mother and her sister Cassandra want Jane to lead a quiet life. But Jane travels, visiting her brothers and friends. And in each of the books of this series, Jane becomes involved in a mystery of some sort. So the first book is Jane and the Unpleasantness at Scargrave Manor. Jane is visiting a friend, Isabel, when her husband dies. Isabel is then suspected of the murder, and Jane must help to prove her innocence. This is more cozy mystery and lacks the science fiction aspect of our main book today, but it definitely gives a similar feel. This one is young adult, but it again has a similar feel to the main title. It's based on the Sherlock Holmes books, so it pulls in the Sherlock Holmes aspect, and it is part of the Charlotte Holmes series by Brittany Cavallaro. And that's, like I said, YA mysteries based on Sherlock Holmes stories by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. The series starts with a study in Charlotte and continues with the last of August. Charlotte and her friend Jamie Watson are headed to Charlotte's family estate, hoping to have a relaxing winter break. But it's just not meant to be. First, the mood at the estate is tense. Then Charlotte's beloved uncle Leander is missing from the estate, and he's been secretive about his latest assignment in a German art forgery ring. Charlotte and Jamie are off to Berlin, where they meet up with August Moriarty, yes, Charlotte's former obsession, whose family has been stealing famous paintings for the last 100 years. Their searches in Berlin lead them to Prague, and they begin to realize that this case is much more complicated than just a disappearance. What they discover may change everything they know about their families and themselves. The last book I'm going to suggest is one that I really want to read. It's Our Hideous Progeny by C.E. McGill. Victor Frankenstein's great-niece Mary knows that Victor mysteriously disappeared in the Arctic. She does not know how or why. She wants to make her name known among the scientists along with her husband Henry, but without wealth or connections, their options are limited. Then Mary discovers an old family paper that discusses her great uncle's past, and she knows a way to fulfill their dreams. Their quest leads them to Scotland and on a deadly chase with a rival about to steal their secret. Our Hideous Progeny is a sumptuous tale of ambition and an adventure story that blends classic immersive storytelling with contemporary themes. And there we are. I hope that you enjoyed this look at The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. I will be back next week when we will discuss my last book for September, Grimm by Sarah B. Elfgren, translated by Judith Quiros. I hope that you will join me then, and until then, I hope that you enjoy all that you do and all that you read. And thank you.